Basketball season starts in just a few hours, but the festivities got underway well early this afternoon when MU unveiled the statue of former head coach Norm Stewart. The first time these two teams met up, Ingram only had 11 points, but look for her to be hungry as she tries to get her team to the conference semifinal. With the Norm Stewart Classic, 48 straight hours of high school basketball. Yes, you did hear that right. Kevin and I decided to do a little sightseeing, and we found ourselves right here at the Parthenon in Nashville. One of the most anticipated home games of the season tomorrow for the Missouri Tigers, but that's always the case when the Kentucky Wildcats make a stop in Columbia. Hard to believe, but we are now halfway through the high school football season, well, the regular season, that is. There are still plenty of great matchups left this season, but last night we got a classic one of the mid-Missouri rivalries when Hickman hosted Rockbridge. What if I told you that you may not have heard of one of Mizzou's most accomplished athletes? No, I'm not talking about Cunningham, Cox, or Schweitzer, but a member of Marching Mizzou.
My name's Simone Esters. I'm 19 years old, and I'm the feature baton twirler for Marching Mizzou.
At 6 years old, Esther's family realized the talent she had, and coaches wanted her to take twirling to the next level. But as a kid, the end goal was enough to keep her motivation up.
If you get good, you can start winning trophies. So then I was like, okay, I'm sold. I'll keep doing this then.
And trophies did she win. Esther's claimed her first national championship at only 12 years old when she was named Miss Majorette of America.
I had been pretty close in the years prior to that. I had got second and third and fourth. So when I finally won, that was just, in my opinion, more of a sigh of relief because I'd worked so hard leading up to that point, and to see that hard work like pay off and come to fruition was just like the best feeling in the world.
From then, Esther's has been to 3 international championships, 2 world championships, and won her second national title.
Once you win your first national title, every time you go out, you're expected to perform up to that same standard. That was something I really struggled with, was living up to people's expectations. So it took a lot of time with both my coach and my mother, having conversations that I don't need to be perfect every single time, and I just need to make myself proud first before I try to please other people.
Throughout all the perseverance and the struggle, Esther's has always had one coach in her corner.
You're on the top, of course there's nowhere to go but down. So you constantly are thinking about that. You know, the kids are constantly thinking about that, and you have a big target on your back because you won. We tried to instill to her, you're a national champion no matter what happens. Nobody will ever take that title away from you. You'll always have that champion. You're a world champion.
The girl from Pennsylvania, now in the Show Me State, is trying to pass off everything she's learned to the next generation of twirlers.
You don't need to be perfect, and you need to please yourself, because that was the hardest thing for me to understand, was that why can't I just be perfect every time and make everybody else happy? And by telling them you have to be happy with yourself first is something that I really want to get out to girls. So.
Jacob Seus, KOMU8 Sports, Columbia.
Jacob, thank you very much.
Kingston, Jamaica to Jefferson City. And the only similarity? The sand. No, not the familiar sand of Siddiqui Eddie's hometown beaches, but a sand he's become equally familiar with while being a 3-time national champion long jumper at Lincoln University.
Every time I won, it's like a new experience begins, you know? Like, if I won this year, I said, okay, I have to win next year. And then I have to win the other year. So it's like a trend I set. Once I started winning, I'm hard to beat.
He has that fighting mentality, that killer instinct, and when you have that determination and that drive to succeed, you will always do well.
Eddie started the long jump in 2012 and was then recruited to join the track and field team at Lincoln University, which would mean leaving Kingston for the first time and having to adjust to a new life.
Once I put my mind to something, that I'm going after it, because everything in life don't come easy. You gotta work for it. So I know once I put in the work out here on the track, I know I'll be getting the result later on in life. In my first year, I didn't want anything because I was just coming and I was just adjusting to the weather. But as soon as my second year hit, that's when the real competition begins.
He adjusted just fine. In his second year, Eddie broke a 27-year-old NCAA record for his first national championship.
I was jumping good throughout the season, but I didn't know I could be the national champion.
Eddie battled injuries in year 3, dealing with a strained tendon, but it was just another obstacle he needed to jump over. Eddie adapted again and won the title for a second straight season.
You gotta have a lion heart, you know, like you just gotta be there and say, okay man, this is just a setback for a major comeback.
It was quite the comeback indeed for Eddie, and he then ended his Lincoln career by finishing off the three-peat and leaving a legacy not too many athletes can match.
I want to go out with a bang and people remember the Lincoln uniform. When they heard of Lincoln, they think of me.
Jacob Seus, KOMU8 Sports, Columbia.